What day is it, everyone? Whoop, whoop. It's Fear Buster Friday. Coming at ya. This is the Fear Buster Coach here with you, Lydia Rieger. That's right, Fear Buster Friday. How's everyone doing? I think my light went out. Let's see, there it goes. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. Hey, it's Black Friday too. Black Friday, Fear Buster Friday. Guess what I just did? I got finished watching a really cute movie with my family, and it's called Old Number 587, The Great Train Robbery. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to talk about the movie so much as I'm going to talk about a quote from the movie. The quote is, "Never let your fear of the moment keep you from the memory of a lifetime." I just love that. How about you? All right, I'm going to repeat it because it's a good one, and then I'll unpack it for you as usual. All right, never let your fear of the moment keep you from the memory of a lifetime. It made me think, when I was thinking about this quote, it made me think about some of my memories from when I was a child and how I rode horses. And there were lots of little fear moments or big fear moments, but I didn't let it stop me because I liked riding horses and I liked the next level of whatever it was I was trying to achieve. And then as I grew older, there were other things, other activities that I did that were kind of, gave me some nervous, feelings and like, do I want to turn back? Maybe I don't want to do this. Some of those moments were parasailing and also flying in a sailplane, learning how to fly. And, those things might seem to some people really kind of big things, that they may not even consider doing ever. And maybe they are to some people, that's fine. And maybe to others, they're kind of small. It's all how you look at it. It's all perspective as far as, what scares you, right? It's different for different people. And other things, in life, just in general, if you think about your life and your daily things that you do, whether it's in business or in your personal life, you might think that those things, might be a little smaller as far as the steps you're taking and whether or not, you're having fear or some block, okay? But to me, it really doesn't matter whether you consider something to be like a smaller sort of step or something big as far as the fear, because the fear of the moment, and a lot of times we don't really think of different things, like we don't think that it's fear that's stopping us, but something's stopping us from taking that next step. And, it may not be, a lot of people don't call it fear, but if you look at it deep down, it's something's stopping you. And it could be the fear of being rejected, the fear of making a fool of yourself, the fear just of failure. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm so scared. It could just be these emotions from our past that are just kind of like trying to keep us safe in the moment because we've experienced uncomfortableness from, before when we've tried different things and it didn't work. And what I say to all that is, so what? So what if you fail? And, I know that can be kind of harsh, but really, so what? And why do I say that? Because you've got to be willing to get uncomfortable if you want to make a change in your life for the positive. If you really want to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you've got to be willing to get uncomfortable. I sometimes say to people, like, I'm willing to make a fool of myself. I don't care. I'll get in front of other people. Some people get terrified being in front of others and speaking and so on. And I'll do that. I mean, I was, kind of embarrassed, but I don't care, at certain times. Like, for example, recently I was in a live training, and there was this little contest, and I volunteered, to be in this contest. And the contest was, there was a conversation, that it involved me and one other person. And I was supposed to ask certain questions, but I could not ask a why question. And what do? Like, I kept thinking to myself, don't ask why, don't ask why. Don't ask the why question. And the first question I asked was a why question. And I didn't even realize it. That was just like so weird to me that I didn't even know I was saying why. And then the lady in charge of the contest, she was like, oh, that was a why question. And I'm like, oh. And I was going to say like, oh, like a bad word, a swear word. But I said, oh, sugar. And then it made people laugh. And so I thought, oh boy, I really made a fool out of myself there. I'm like so embarrassed. But I didn't care, like, so what? So that's what I say to fear. So what? Go away, like, it's okay. So you just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's an oxymoron, but you got to be uncomfortable, like willing to be in that spot in the interest of growing yourself, because there are going to be these times that are just so like, blah. And so, if you got to play that fool sometimes. But you see, here's the thing. If you don't do it, if you don't get uncomfortable and you don't feel like a fool, then you're going to be a fool anyway, if you're not going to at least try to take that step. So that's what you can tell yourself. You can say, well, you're a fool not to do it, And then sometimes we're nervous. Like, sometimes I'm nervous about picking up the phone and making that phone call. Tell me about it. I'm sure you've been there. But then you got to tell your nerves to just calm down, because what will happen? This is the truth. What happens is you pick up the phone, you're nervous, but you dial and you do it and you start talking. And then your nerves go down. I mean, maybe you might have a little crack in your voice or whatever, but you're going to get over it. Okay. And definitely by the time you hang up, you might feel like your heart sank a little bit in your stomach, but then it's done. It's done. But you're not going to get to that point until you pick up the phone. So, and one more example, maybe, maybe your budget, is blocking you. Maybe your budget is blocking your next move. I've been there before. I've totally was like, like, I can't do this. And, and tears, and just getting like really upset because I really wanted to do something, and I felt like I just couldn't. And I felt paralyzed and stuck. And you can find your way. You can find your way with any block. And even the budget blocks, you can find a way to step off of that block. You step off of it and you tell yourself that there is a way to pay, and there always is. especially with something that you know you're absolutely going to love, and something that you know will move you in the direction towards your dream, whatever that is. You know, it could be a special trip. It could be, because I remember once, you know, I wanted to go on this special retreat and I had no idea how I was going to pay for it. And a way came. It was like, boom, it just came because, and I believe it was because I told myself, I'm there already. I'm doing it now. I'm going to be doing it. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. And then a way came within a couple days. It was like so amazing because I put myself on that frequency of, I'm already there. I'm doing it. I just don't know quite how yet, but I'm doing it. You know, and then another thing that really helps with money, like budget things, is putting the money down, whatever it is, like if there's a down payment or something, you know, to actually just put that money down, because it tells the universe, it's proving to the universe, hey, I'm going to do this first part. You know, the first part I know is me, and I've got to like jump over that hurdle or whatever, and I'm gonna show the universe I'm all in by putting the money down. And when you do that, the rest of the money just magically shows up. I don't know, I mean, I do know how it works, you know. I don't know all the answers, but I do know that there's an energetic field where when you do that, and you say, I'm all in, and you're drawing the line in the sand, you know, and you put that money down, the universe shows up for you. It's like you're going halfway. And sometimes you don't even have to go halfway. You just go a part of the way, and the universe just is there for the rest of it and carries you on the rest of it. So that's what's really neat about things like that. And I just think it's all about when you show that you're serious. You know, if you're serious about your dream, about your goals, and I mean really serious, not just like, well, I kind of sort of, you know, want this. But no, you got to really want it deep in your bones, deep in your heart and soul. And if you're all in that way and you really want it, then life will meet you halfway or more. And fear busters never let fear stop them from, you know, like that quote I started with. Okay, it's all about not letting that fear stop you from making those great memories. So remember that fear, you know, if you're a fear buster, if you really start practicing this, fear busters don't let the fear stop them. That's what fear busting is all about, right? So, I mean, it makes sense, but how do you do it? So partly how is remembering that fear can be there. Do fear busters have fear? Yes, we have fear. But do we let it drive our car? No, we don't. And that's the difference. It's okay to have it. You know, we can say be gone and so on, but you know, it's there, and it's there for a reason. It's helping us, you know, it's trying to keep us safe. That's all, because we've got all this baggage from the past and all these different things, you know. But if we just say, it's okay, you're here, you can be here, it's all right, just get in the back seat. All right? Fear, here's a nice back seat for you. But you're not even going to get in the front seat with me, fear. No, no, no. Because I'm driving and I'm, you know, doing this thing, and you can just be in the back seat. That's what fear can do. You just tell it to do that. So, Where does that leave us? And why is this important anyway? Why is this important to you? That you should never let your fear of the moment keep you from the memory of a lifetime. I think it just boils down to the fact that you can have what you want. You absolutely can have what you want. It's just that, most of us, a lot of us, unfortunately, don't get to see a lot of their dreams come true because they allow the fear to drive. So if you remember, why is this important to you? It's because you can have what you really want. You just have to step off of those fears and use the fear to take you places. Sometimes it's a fear that stems back from childhood, and you can say to that little girl or little boy inside you, here, hold my hand, I will help you. When I was a little girl, I had help. At first, when I was learning how to swim, I wanted to jump off the high dive. It was really high. And so, but I didn't do it myself. I was so scared. So there was a boy who, well, to me, he was a man, but I'm sure he was really just a teenager or a very young adult. And he was a swim instructor, and he was helping me. And so we went up the high dive together, up the ladder. And by the time we got onto the ladder, I thought to myself, or no, it was like halfway up, climbing up this ladder, I was like, no, I don't want to be up here now. But I felt like if I gave up right then, I was only about 4 or 5 years old, but I still remember it. I remember thinking, if I scream and cry now, maybe I could get back down. But then it was too late. I was already now on the high dive with the boy, and I thought, I can't stop now. And so I just did it. I just jumped with him, and he held my hand, and down we went. And I was glad I did it. Was I scared? Yes. And those other moments I mentioned when I rode my horse, and different times when I was in the air parasailing, and different times when I was flying the sailplane, I was scared. But I told fear, take a back seat. Take a back seat. And why? So that I could experience these things. So think about a time when you were younger. It could be a time when you were a child, or it could be, any time maybe that you're an adult, whatever. But think back to a time when you did something when at first you were scared, but then you did it anyway. Why did you do it? Maybe the desire was just so strong and you really wanted to do it. And, but I want you to go back and to that moment and think about that. And remember those moments of when you decided to do something. You decided to jump off that high dive. You had fear, but you did it anyway. Remember those times when you reach your next fear. And it could be something, quote, big, like going parasailing. Or it could be something that's relatively small, like picking up the phone and making a phone call. But whatever it is, you know what it is. You know what your next move is towards your goals and dreams. And even if you don't know, maybe you're just, like scared because you just don't even know what the next move is. And that's okay too. But it doesn't matter. You just do it anyway. Because that's why it's important to you. What I'm teaching you right now, it's important because you're not going to get your goals or dreams by not taking those scary steps, by not making a fool of yourself, and by not, feeling uncomfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to get uncomfortable so that you can grow. And that's what's important. That's the whole reason. So you can grow, so you can reach those goals and dreams. So thanks for watching. This was a long one. Thanks for hanging in there. And your fear bust a move today is to take that next step. Take that next step, even with the fear. And just tell the fear what? Tell it, get in the back seat. I'm driving this car. That's right. All right. Make sure to make every day a what? Let's say it together. A fear buster day. Bye for now.